What's up, all my financially intentional people? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm super juiced to have Stephanie Beggs here with us. And Stephanie has an incredible story. She is a nurse just like me, but outside of being nurse, she is a big time influencer by just doing the things that she loves, teaching
Yes.
about nursing and healthcare and giving you all the hacks so that we can all be better nurses. So, hey, Stephanie, welcome.
Hello. Hello. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I want to start off by talking about your nursing journey. What inspired you to
Mhm.
be a nurse?
Ooh, so that's tough. I took a really untraditional route to nursing. I wasn't the typical kid who had this like story that changed their life that wanted them to become a nurse. So that was not me, but I've always been fascinated with science and medicine. I didn't get to jump into that right away because I pursued a career in business first. So once I finished that career in business, I decided I'm going to do something that I really want to do. That was more up my alley, and that was science and medicine. So I went back to school to do that and be a nurse.
Did you do an
Yeah.
accelerated program?
I did. Because I had a prior degree in nursing, I was eligible to do an accelerated BSN program. So I took my prerequisites that I didn't have already finished for business and then went straight into nursing core classes.
Nice. Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So I too did not take the direct route
Right?
into nursing. I
Yeah.
actually had a master's in healthcare administration and worked as a healthcare administrator for 5 years. Hated
Amazing.
it, but loved but loved all the nurses that I've worked with. Was like,
Yeah,
I want to do that. And so I definitely understand the non-traditional route and definitely
definitely.
did an accelerated program that
Hmm.
changed my life. And now you can't tell me,
I
I'm
will
not a
never go
nurse.
back.
And never, I mean, once you
Yeah.
come on this side, and it's just because there's so many incredible things that you can do as a
Hmm.
nurse. And I love what you're doing because it's just so phenomenal. And the way
Yeah.
that you were able to grow and take off shows that there's such a need for
Yeah.
this out there for what you teach. And can you talk about that transition into now being this big time nurse, social media influencer? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, so when I was studying for the NCLEX was right at the height of COVID. Well, and not even the height, like the very beginning of COVID when nobody knew what was going on and everyone was in lockdown. I had no one to study with for when I was studying for the boards. And so I would make these videos teaching myself topics because I had no one else to teach, so I just taught myself. And then those videos I would play back to kind of help me learn and study. But also at that time, social media was kind of getting big with TikTok and different apps that were growing at the time. And I posted one of the videos of me teaching on TikTok that became viral. And then from there, I was like, you know what? I realized that more people learn like me than I thought. So I decided to keep doing that. And I kept posting, and really it was helping me help other people, I guess. So that's how the business kind of grew. And then everybody wanted to buy what I was teaching in those videos. So then I created this business, and here we are. So,
I love it. And
yeah.
it just sparked out of necessity. And I think that's a
Yes.
lesson that a lot of people need to learn is that
Hmm.
people, they're always trying to search outside for what are some things I can do to make more money? What are
Yeah,
some side hustle ideas? And usually it's the thing that you do naturally. You were doing this for yourself
exactly.
because that's the way that you process information and you just happen to share it and then
Hmm.
got so much because people need this. And that's the way that I really tell people when they're looking they always try to say, oh, well, that person is doing IV hydration. That person is doing that. That
Yeah.
sounds good. But not what are you really good at?
Yeah, you
Because
can't
that,
compare. You can't compare
yes,
yourself. And also
yeah.
you going in with the mindset of like, what can I do to make me more money, or how can I be this successful, whatever, is not the mindset to be in if you want to actually be successful or make all this money, because it's more of like, what are your passions and how can you make that passion into, something that benefits a lot of people, and then from there it kind of trickles. So for me it was like, I love teaching. I'm so good at teaching. How can I do that not just for myself to like pass the boards, but how can I do that for other people? And that's just how we came with RNExplained.
And so now you actually are a teacher.
Yes,
so
literally, yeah.
Yeah, so you you teach pharmacology,
Yes.
but you came out of nursing during a time where I just remember, when Clubhouse was really big and like there were like all these nurses coming out of nursing school around that same time. And it
Hmm.
was kind of like this lost class of nurses
Oh yeah.
because you did not have you didn't have school. A lot of the schools were closed down. You
Yeah.
went virtual. You didn't have preceptorships or clinical sites. Your
Hmm.
clinicals were pretty
No
much shut
experience.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how was it transitioning into nursing during the pandemic?
So I got lucky. For me, I graduated right when everything was shutting down. So all classes, all nursing schools pretty much after me, like any class that was after me, lost all of their clinical rotations and all of their experience in the hospital and everything. I just got lucky because it was the very end of my nursing school career. But so for me, it was okay because I got all of my clinicals, and the only thing I missed 3 weeks of clinicals, and that was it. For me, it was fine, but I had so many students in my messages on all social media platforms talking about how worried they were to start as an actual nurse on the floor as like a new grad because they had no clinical experience at all because of COVID. And what I kept telling them was focus on learning like the book knowledge that you can right now, because the skills that you would be learning in nurse or in clinicals and whatever, those will always come. You're always going to be learning those. I mean, to this day, I'm still learning skills that I had no idea how to do. So those skills, sure, you're missing out on them, and that's like so fun in nursing school or whatever, but it's not do or die. And what's do or die is what you are learning in the books, in class, and all of that in nursing school. So I told people to really focus on that, and then you'll get the skills as they come.
I think that's really good advice. And that's coming
Yeah.
from a nurse of
Yeah.
13 years. Like, I think a lot of times, I mean, it was a super intimidating time to come into nursing just because it was kind of a shit show,
Oh my gosh,
for lack of
totally.
a better word. But I
Totally.
mean, like, we didn't know what we were dealing with. And then
Yeah.
for somebody who's new to, first of all, if you don't know, being a nurse is not easy.
No. Not at all.
There is such a sharp, steep learning curve
Oh
when you become a
yes.
nurse because there are so many things that you need to learn, both like skill wise, knowledge wise,
Yes.
critical thinking wise, trusting your intuition wise. It's
Yes.
really, really hard
Yeah.
initially. And then throw a pandemic onto that, like,
Yeah.
it's really, really hard. So even though you still got your education, you still got all your clinical, you still have to come out and
Oh
find
my
a
gosh.
job in the middle of this mess.
And
Like,
you know
what was
what?
that
That was
like?
hard. That
Yeah.
I thought when I graduated, I was like, okay, we're in a pandemic. They need me. Like, they need anyone that they can get with a nursing degree. And so I thought this is going to be easy. Like, I'm going to apply. I'm going to get a job right away. No, it took me about like 5 interviews before I actually landed a job. And I mean, I feel like all of my friends, when we graduated and had these interviews, we were like, why is it so hard right now? Like to get a job, like they need us more than ever, and they weren't taking us. And finally I landed a job about couple months after I passed my boards. It ended up being my dream job, which is amazing. But yeah, it's a completely different learning experience going from nursing school to your first new grad position. I always tell people too, it's kind of like when you are learning to drive. Like you take these driving classes and they teach you the book way of like you put your turn signal at 100 feet and like whatever. But then when you get your license and you drive on your own, you develop your own kind of style of driving. And so it's kind of like that. Like that's how I like compared it when I was a new grad. I was like, this is kind of like learning how to drive. You kind of create your own like nursing practice, I guess.
So while you were becoming a nurse, developing your skills as a nurse,
Yes.
was your social media kind of platform taking off at the same
Yeah.
time? So were they growing simultaneously?
They were growing simultaneously. Yeah. Yeah. Cause right when I became viral was when I was passing the boards and getting my license. So it grew together. We grew together as a new grad and on social media. So.
Did you find that that was distracting, or do you feel like it helped you in your
Oh
nursing?
no, it helped. By all means, it was probably the best thing that could have happened to me when I started my new grad program, because while I was teaching all of these other people on social media now, because I had this full-fledged business, it kept me sharp and it kept me on point with everything I needed to know. And then when I stepped foot into my first job, I was so familiar with everything that I needed to know with defibrillators and codes and stuff like, and medications and stuff like that, that a lot of my peers, hadn't refreshed on since they were in nursing school. But here I was doing it every single day. So it was a blessing for me too. So
And the best ways to actually learn something is actually through teaching somebody else.
exactly.
So you
Exactly.
were like drilling though that stuff into you. So I probably need you to
Yep.
teach me some things, because it's probably some things so well. Because
Yeah.
honey, when it comes to doing ACLS, I'm a labor and delivery nurse. Okay, like that is the bane of my existence. And when they show me
Yeah.
those strips, I be like, listen,
It's like
I'm
squiggles.
trying to look. Yes, I'm trying to look at fetal heart monitors. I'm like, is this baby
Yeah.
on the D cell or what's going on?
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. Yeah, no, it definitely helped me a lot being able to refresh with people on social media. 'Cause, yeah, help me help them. So yeah.
No, I love it. I love it, and I just think it's genius, because
Yeah.
I wish I had that, like the resources that you provide when I was going through school, because I need to learn that way.
Mm,
And I think a thing that nursing needs to adapt more is different kind of learning styles, because
totally.
sitting in lectures, like I actually, interesting story is I did not get diagnosed with ADD until my second year, or into my master's, my first year of my master's program as a nurse.
Hmm.
And that's my second master's degree.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was because I could not sit in any more lectures. Like I could not process the information like that. I don't process the information. And it wasn't until I learned, because in teaching myself personal finance, that I learned by listening to things really, really fast, or else I can't even process. I can't
Hmm.
even hear it,
Yeah.
and I need visual things, and I need to be able to teach things back to people. And that's
Yeah.
actually how my platform started, is that I was learning these personal finance concepts, and then I would share them back.
Yep.
I would teach back what I learned, because I'm like, oh, a lot of people don't know this, so let me just share this stuff. And that's how I grew in my knowledge. But that's
Yep.
the thing, is that there's so many different learning styles. But I feel like, first of all, nursing school is torture
Torture.
unnecessarily.
They only stick to one learning style, and that's classroom.
Yeah,
And it's bad.
yeah. But now you're on the dark side. You're a pharmacology.
Yeah. Now I'm
So,
here to change that teaching style for sure. Yeah.
hey, how did you make that transition into becoming a
Um,
professor?
yeah.
Yeah, professor.
So I didn't even, being a professor at a nursing school didn't really cross my mind at all. I was more so really wanting to have a clinical group that I went to the hospital with and being a clinical instructor. But the nursing school that I graduated from had reached out to me asking if I wanted to teach pharmacology. So I was like, you know what? Why not? Like, I love pharmacology. So I was like, why not? Like, I'll teach this. So that's how I got into it. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's so cool. It's just, I mean, once you kind of put yourself out there, you see so many different opportunities come your
Hmm.
way. And I know that there are, like, just having your social media platform in the way that it blew up so big,
Hmm.
it's like you have gotten opportunities that you couldn't even imagine. I know you
Hmm.
didn't think about being a nurse and these things happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot. So, like, what are some of the most surprising things that you've been a part of, since you started on this journey?
Hmm. I would say, like, in terms of my business, biggest surprise would be, I think, just the way, like, the different learning styles, like you said. I think that, like, really, I know the reason why I think I became big in my business and what I do now is because I'm tapping into a learning style that not many people have tapped into, where, like, anybody can teach you what the pathophysiology of a heart attack is. Any nurse could sit down with you and tell you, but it's the way that I teach it that really attracts the people that, follow me on social media and watch my videos and buy my products, because the way that I teach is different than how other people teach that pathophysiology. I make it fun. I back it up with, mnemonics that you'll remember. I don't go, longer than a couple minutes, because no one's paying attention for longer than a couple minutes. So yeah, I think that is like the biggest thing I've learned through all this, but that's just my business. I've learned many things, many things.
But
So
did somebody teach you how to learn like that? Or is that
no,
something that you just had to adapt because you figured out early how you learn best?
I think I've always just learned like that. Even back in my undergrad for my business degree, even in jobs when I was training somebody else as a server in a restaurant, like that's just how I teach. Yeah, I think that's just how I am. And no one really taught me that, and none of my professors in nursing school taught like that. So that was just learned by me, honestly.
That's pretty cool. But you
Yeah,
have had some incredible accomplishments. I mean, you made it on
thank
Forbes
you.
30 under 30. You have seen
Thank you.
some
Yes.
like tremendous platform growth featured in major
Hmm.
publications. But I think the most impactful things are like the impact that you make in the nursing community. What are some of your most popular products and services?
My hands down, my most popular one is my hard copy comprehensive bundle. It includes all 8 core nursing classes all in one. I have a digital and I have a hard copy, but a lot of people prefer the hard copy because it's tangible. You can write on it, bring it to class, etc. I would say after that would be specifically my pharmacology bundle. I think that's probably one of the hardest classes in nursing school is pharmacology, so everybody's looking for resources on that. So that would be my second, my top two.
But not only are you running this incredibly successful business, you're still working full
I
time as
know.
a nurse.
I know. Yeah, I'm crazy. Call me crazy, but I love it. I genuinely love being at the bedside. Like I actually love taking what I learn and seeing it come full circle with real patients in real time and like critically thinking. I love it. So I couldn't foresee myself leaving that yet. And I know a lot of people like do, or they get burnt out or whatever. I'm trying to hold on, but yeah,
You're still,
I
or
love it.
it's still early in the game, but still, I
Yeah.
mean, I know even like, I mean, it was a hard time. Like you came into nursing at a really hard time. So I do see a lot of newer nurses get burnt out like
Oh my
really
gosh, yeah.
fast just because of the environment. But it seems like you have created for yourself this like system, this like cycle of learning because you're teaching, you're educating, you're experiencing new things, new concepts, the
Hmm.
way and it just keeps on feeding into each
It never
other. And
ends.
so
Yeah.
yes, and so this business model is perfect for just like your career growth,
Yeah.
your business growth, like it on both sides they feed into each
Yeah.
other. So
They
I
do.
really love I really love that mix. And then you're a professor, so you're continuously having to teach
Hmm.
students, and then you're seeing like the ways that they learn and ways that you can improve. I
Yeah.
just love it. Like
It all
I think
works.
it's
Yeah.
great. Like I you fell into, and I'm not saying it like you got lucky, because you were very intentional about what you did and you put a
Yeah.
lot of work and effort behind the products that you create. But it's just like this perfect fold of things that just come together to
Yeah.
like just make you a better nurse, but also serve the nursing community. And so I know
Totally.
so many people are grateful for you. Like, I love
Yeah.
your videos. I
Thank
still,
you.
like I said, I still learn. I think everybody can still learn from them. Like,
Oh, 100%.
I think that they're incredible tools. And you're still so young, and you
I know.
and not saying
Yeah.
that as an insult, but just like how far you have come.
Hmm.
And I know that a lot of these things, like a lot of the lessons that you've learned have also like gave you some good sound financials, and you're still being
Hmm.
super responsible with your money.
Yeah.
Like I love that you house hack. Like you haven't
Yeah.
really
Right.
paid your mortgage basically, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I recently just bought a townhome, but which is so crazy because I have always rented, but I just now realized over the past maybe 2 years when I bought this townhome that your mortgage is the same as rent. I mean, if you do it right, like, it's crazy. But yeah, so my roommate who rents from me the room in my townhome, we work together in the ER. So it just works perfectly because I have a BFF there and she pays half my mortgage and it's great.
Right. Right. I love it. I love it. But you're still super responsible about your
Hmm.
money. I feel like you don't spend frivolously, even though,
Mm-mm.
like that's a lot of people's dream, right? They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to go blow up. First of all, first you're a new nurse and, first thing new nurses say when they come into nursing, they need a new car, got to buy
Yep.
the house, got to
New
buy
new
the
purse.
things.
Yep.
Exactly. Where I see
Yeah.
from you, you're like, okay, I'm going to buy the house responsibly, keep it
Hmm.
same as my rent, but now it's half my rent because I have somebody paying that. I
Exactly.
only spend money on things that I need.
Yes.
I have an electric car, like all of those
Yeah.
like cool things that set you up to be successful financially. That way,
Hmm.
nursing is not a job, it's your passion, and you can look at it like
Totally.
that, and when it doesn't serve you, you can walk away because you have the
Totally.
financial means to.
Yeah. Yeah. Very rarely do I like spend money on I'm more so thinking about the future and how I'm going to save and stuff like that for the future than spending money on myself and like materialistic things. I can't tell you the last thing I bought just like for myself, just for fun, but I don't mind that because like one, I don't really need it. Two, I'm trying to save money anyway for future goals. And yeah.
What advice would you give to the next graduating class of nurses?
Oh man, that's so loaded. You could go in
As
so many
loaded, yes.
directions with this.
Yes.
Let's see. The next wave of the next wave of nurses that are going to graduate are going to be the ones that again have very little experience in clinical rotations because of COVID or think that they're behind. And I mean, if I could tell all of them one thing, I would probably say don't worry and don't rush your like new grad program, because I think coming out of nursing school, you put so much pressure on yourself to know everything that you need to know for that first job. And I sure as hell did not know everything that I needed to know. And I didn't feel even competent as a nurse until probably 5 or 6 months into my new grad program, where things just finally started to click for me. And every day I would question, like, am I cut out for this? Is this really like what I envisioned and whatever? But if you just keep pushing through and give yourself time to establish yourself as a new grad nurse, then you're going to be okay. But don't quit before that, because you got to see it all the way through. And a lot of nurses get really discouraged with that. So I like to tell them, just give it some time, at least 5 to 6 months is what I tell them.
I'd say 2 years because
Even then,
honestly,
yeah.
like when I started off as a new grad, I started off in mom baby and then
Yeah,
transitioned into labor and delivery. So I felt like I was learning all over again. And
you
sometimes
are. Yeah,
it takes time. It takes
it
time to get
does.
really comfortable. And there's a lot of self-doubt. Ask a lot of questions.
Mhm.
Like don't be ashamed of asking for more help and more training. And I think that you don't have to know it all. You're not expected to know it
Oh
all.
no,
You're
I and
expected to
yeah.
learn. Yeah.
And the thing that would worry me the most are the nurses that do think they know it all and the nurses that don't ask the questions, because those are the scariest nurses. So I always tell people, ask questions, don't be afraid to look dumb. I probably ask like 15 questions at least, like, in one shift, and I'm not afraid to ask any of the doctors anything. And you know what I found is that people, especially in healthcare, love to teach you. So if you approach anybody asking a question where they're able to teach you something or break something down or whatever, people love that. So it's just the way that you ask the question that gets people like, yeah, you know what, like, let me show you how this works. And let me show you. People love that in healthcare. So that's just the approach that I take to questions, especially with like doctors or residents or anybody that I work with. Because I mean, I like to learn, they like to teach. It can never end badly. People get afraid that they're going to look dumb, and no one's going to look dumb.
What do you say to nurses who think that, having a business is like the
Oh,
way out of Nursing is taking the easy route. Like,
Oh
what do you
no,
say?
no,
I'm
it like,
laughing because I know it's not, but you
yeah,
hear it all the time. It's just like, well,
yeah.
I'm so burnt out in nursing. I'm just gonna go start this business.
Yeah, it is so much harder than people think it is. And it is, if you like your 3 12s a week, the starting a business is not 3 12s a week. It is every day, all day. Like when I am not in the hospital, I'm working on RNExplained and it doesn't stop, like at all. But the thing is I love it. So you have to have a passion to start a business or create a product or anything like that, because if you don't have that passion, it's not going to be fun for you, and it is a lot of work.
Thank you for sharing that. Because when I go to work, I'm like, this is the easy part.
Exactly. No, exactly. Like my time to my time like for fun, I get, like, you could call it fun, is going to the hospital and working. That is like my fun, you know? And yeah, so starting a business is not as easy as people think it is. I mean, I used to have coworkers at my very first job that I had as a new grad. I had coworkers that would learn about my business, they'd learn what I do, and in the break room they'd be like, "Wow, you just sell your study sheets. That's all you do. Like, I should just take my study sheets and put them online and sell them." And
Go
in my
ahead,
head, I'm
boo.
like, that's kind of offensive. I'm like, that's a little offensive because it's not just study sheets. And like, sure, why don't you try putting your sheets online and selling them? Like, it's not as easy as what people think. And that's the first thing that people think is like, oh, study sheets, like, let me just put my nursing notes up and sell them. It's not like that. So yeah, I don't think people have a big understanding until you're in it, but like, you can't really explain it until you do it, so
Exactly. And I think people need to put some respect on your name, because in
yeah.
order to stay, no, seriously, because in order
Yeah,
to be as successful as you are and to grow in the way that you grew is because you are genuinely providing value.
yeah.
But in that, there is a lot of things that go in behind the scenes to make the
Hours.
content,
Yeah.
make the
Oh yeah.
videos. Like, people don't understand when you
Not
are
at
a
all.
social media creator, you are an editor, you are a
Oh, I do all the
videographer,
things.
you're a
Yeah.
photographer,
Mm-hmm.
you're a graphic
I'm the
designer,
Yep, I'm the writer. I'm like
everything.
everything.
So now, I
Yeah,
mean, you're not just a nurse. At work, I could just be a nurse. But behind the scenes,
exactly.
I mean, there is so much stuff that goes into it, and people just see the end results, and they see
Yeah.
maybe that social that you get these influencer contracts and all that stuff,
Hmm.
which don't pay no money. By the way, I make my
No.
money a couple hours
Yeah.
at work, but that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there. But people see that, and that's what's glamorized, and so
Hmm.
like I said, I just want people to put some respect on your name and
Thank
know
you.
that you are putting in major work in
Yeah.
order for this to be successful. And I praise you. Like, when I looked at your stuff, I
Thank
was
you.
like, this girl ain't no joke. Like, she does
Yeah.
not play. And like I
Hmm.
said, like, I know the blood, sweat, and tears that went into your business. And I
Yes.
know
Yeah.
how easy it is to give up. And
Yeah.
so, I'm just giving you your props, girl, because you're
Thank
out here
you.
doing
Thank you
it. And
so
I'm
much.
so proud of you.
Thank
On
you.
top of being a professor, on top
Yes.
of being a full time nurse. So, yes, I commend you. So, I just want you to let the
Thank
people
you.
know where they can find all things RN Explained.
You can purchase any of my products on Etsy, etsy.com/RNexplained, or if you just type in Stephanie Beggs or RNexplained, it'll pop up. Yeah, that's where all of my products are. And if you want to learn anything, you can go to any of my social media. So TikToks, it's Steph Begg with no S at the end, just Steph Begg. And then my Instagram is Stephanie Beggs. I post daily different, study tips, videos, tips and tricks, all of that. So
And I'll have all that stuff in the show notes, but make sure you guys check her out. If you aren't a nurse, but you have friends and family that are nurses, make sure you get those study guides, because they are comprehensive,
yes.
and even OGs like me can learn from them.
Oh
So
yeah.
thank you so much, Stephanie, for being on the podcast. I really enjoyed our conversation. I know
Thank
that's,
you.
yeah, you are so inspirational.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I mean, for all things, and just what you've accomplished in such a short amount of time, I don't want to downplay, because it is major, and I'm proud of you, girl.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Oh,